Greetings, bold adventurers and eager watchers of the Iron Realm. Tonight we embark on episode 43 of our legendary saga, an ongoing tale that began with the first spark of adventure in episode 1. If you're just joining us, you're stepping into a world where heroes rise, betrayals unfold, and epic twists change the fate of kingdoms. To fully appreciate the journey, we invite you to start at the beginning and witness every battle, betrayal, and triumph that has led us here. We convene every Wednesday night where our stories are whisked away to the production dungeon, a mysterious lair of tireless trolls who weave the raw threads of our adventures into polished episodes. You can catch every thrilling installment Sunday on YouTube, perfectly crafted and ready for your viewing pleasure. Wondering where to find us? We're everywhere, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, the Iron Realm Wiki, or even Pinterest. We've left our mark across the lands of the intranet. Join us on these platforms to keep up with every twist and turn of the story. Before we plunge into the heart of tonight's episode, please meet our heroes who've led us through these trials. When I call your name, introduce yourself with your first name, character, race, class, and level. As for me, I shall take the charge. I am Chris B, and I am the DM and creator of the Iron Realm Homebrew. Next up, we have Matt.
Hey guys, I am Matt C. I am playing Tolnar. He is a half-elf rogue, level 6.
We have Bradley.
Hi, I'm Bradley J, and I am playing Kingfisher Blue, a level 6 Er'fro'ren monk who is smarter than you, and you're probably not aware of that because he's smarter than you.
Then we have John.
Hello, I'm John. I play Zechariah, a human paladin of the 6th level, Oath of Devotion to the amazing and wonderful Alpha Bog. Alpha Zah!
Next up, we have Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison. I play Theo and Kat, a color star and cat, rogue duo at level 5.
Then we have Rhea.
Hello, I am Rhea. I play Lominde. She is a level 5 elven rogue who will pickpocket you and not feel very bad about it at all.
And last but not least, we have Lisa.
I'm Lisa, and my character is Erin Stormfeld. She is a 5th level elf paladin who follows the one true God, and she is here to uplift the innocent.
Alphazah. Unfortunately, tonight we will not have David with us. He usually plays Q, a Lightfoot halfling cleric, level 6. Unfortunately, he had something come up and will not be able to play with us. We wish David all the best and hope to see him again next week for the next chapter of our continuing adventure. So, episode 42, Stone, Shadows, and the Serpent's Gaze. The battle in Er'fro'ren rages on, and now the source of the creeping petrification is revealed. A Medusa, her eyes filled with venom and malice, slithers from the darkness. The cost of staring back becomes all too real. Erin slips from the front lines, vanishing into the shadows, a silent sentinel awaiting her moment. Nearby, a Yuan-ti guard lunges at Tolnar and utterly fails, fumbling with such disgrace that it soils itself. Tolnar simply replies, cold as stone, "Boo." Then the sound of vengeance. Theo and Kat come roaring into combat, but the cost of battle grows. Zachariah and Kingfisher Blue feel their limbs begin to stiffen, stone threatening to overtake flesh. Lomende is hit harder still, her feet locked to the floor, her body resisting, a transformation already beginning. Yet courage rises. Zechariah calls out the Medusa, invoking a compelled duel, and strides towards her, shield gleaming. The air grows colder, heavier, as divine challenge meets mythic monstrosity. Across the field, Lomende, despite her stone-bound feet, moves with impossible grace. With a fluid twist of her upper torso, she kills the Yanti that had engaged Talnar, then turns her gaze to the slumbering mind whisperer in front of her. Without hesitation, she pushes it into the lava, watching it vanish beneath the molten surface. The party fights on the edge between flesh and stone, light and shadow. Join us tonight for episode 43, where the battle continues. The Medusa tightens her grip, and the adventurers fight not just for victory, but to keep their very selves from becoming Er'fro'ren statue decorations of stone. Let's roll. Good evening, fellow warriors.
Good evening.
Evening.
Hello.
Oh, the energy. Let's get going. We are in the middle of a fantastic battle. And
Please remember that Kingfisher has not begun to turn the stone.
That's right.
To the crown of hearing.
Yeah, it is effectively blind, so he is doing better than Lomende, but that's okay. So we are at the beginning of round 8. We have one Mind Whisperer, one Yanti guard, and the Medusa that are still standing. So, excuse me. We will start off with Talnar. What you got for tonight?
Well, so Talnar is going to actually do something that he typically don't do from, as most probably have seen in the past. He's actually going to use the shadows in here as much as possible and try to hide and make his way across the map.
Okay.
And hide is an action I can take as in combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to be doing that while moving Talnar. And let's see. That's going to be 25. And yep. Perfect. So Talnar's going to be keeping to the shadows as much as possible and be able to pop right there.
Awesome. Okay. What else you got for us?
That is it for my turn.
Okay.
Because I'm taking from the hide action.
So as everyone is distracted in the middle of this fight, Talnar disappears and no one knows where he is. Next up we have Kingfisher Blue.
Remember, the floor is lava, Talnar. All right. Literally. All right. Kingfisher Blue, with his crown of hearing on his winged head, is feeling like a daredevil, as it were, and is fighting the Medusa with... Pardon me. No vision, but all hearing, and therefore, he will attack. I will expend 1 key point, and I will attack with a flurry of blows upon the Medusa.
Okay.
First attack is a 19 to hit.
19 18 does hit.
Which does 7 points of damage with the right talon. Ah! Now with the left talon.
And just for a second, you said how many points? 7?
7, yes.
7. Okay. Just want to make sure I get the right number there.
Ooh, the second attack misses. The left talon is off target with a 13.
Anything 18 or?
Yeah, third attack. 19 to hit.
Using her punching back.
And that does 10 points of damage to Miss Snakeface. And my final attack is a 21 to hit with my left foot.
Great move.
And that does 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And let's see here. Do I have any? All right. I will spend one more key point on my turn and invoke Patient Defense, which will allow me to take the dodge action as a bonus action on my turn if I am henceforth attacked. And that ends my turn.
Thank you. Well done. Well done. Did some good damage. Right. Aaron Stormfell.
Okay. Let's see. Go to I want to attack the is that pink?
Yes.
Pink Yanti? Or
The,
that's straight in front of me.
the Yanti Whisperer. Mind Whisperer.
Yeah. With my Firebolt cantrip. So let's see. Let's roll the dice to see if we hit. And we did not hit. So that's not good. We got a 6, so that does not hit.
Does not hit. But do you only have one attack or do you have 2 attacks?
I think I have 2.
Let's,
So I can roll again, is that correct?
yes, you can roll again. Remember, cantrips you can use them again and again and again. You don't have to rest or anything else. It's just it's like there it is. There it is. Yes, you do have 2 attacks.
But I did not hit that time either. So 2.
You do have what's called a bonus action that you can take during combat, since you have already used your cantrip. but you can do things like under your spells, you actually have Searing Smite, which is a bonus action spell.
Okay.
And that one,
And I click.
you hit the target. Let's see. It takes an extra d6 fire damage from the attack if you hit, and then it increases in level depending on whether you use it for a first level or a second.
So on my D&D and Beyond screen, what do I click exactly?
Okay, if you go where it says action, spells, inventory, feature, and traits, if you click on spells,
Yeah, I see it.
and go down a little bit, you'll see first level as well as second level spells. And you have Searing Smite second level is the last one on that list. And if you click on cast, hit
It
that
says,
the B,
yeah, it says 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay. So
2.
you throw out a Searing Smite of fire at the Yanti and hit it with 2 points of damage. So. Okay. Very good. Now that you have cast it at second level, if you go up just a little bit, or did you use it for first level? Do you recall whether it was first or second? First? Okay. So if you go up just a little bit from Searing Smite, you'll see it says first level in red and then 4 black boxes. Click the first box. That means that you have 3 spells at first level that you can do. You had 4, but you used one of them to do Searing Smite. So you still have Thunderous Smite and several other things on there. So Thunderous Smite might be a good one too to use, as well as looking to see. I don't.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Want
Do
to order real quick?
Thunderous one.
Sporting with this, it started its turn until the spell ends. So at each of it, from my understanding, unless people that are playing Paladins, well, can tell me otherwise, but at each of the target's turn until the spell ends, at 1d6 has to be rolled.
Okay.
With any smite that's added on to any of the attacks.
Okay. So I need to put down Smite
and it's a Constitution saving throw.
So I will have to do, when it's my turn, I'll have to do a Constitution saving throw, or I get burned again.
And I did Thunderous Smite at damage of 7.
Okay, you can only use one spell on your bonus action.
Oh, okay.
Your regular action, you can do 2 things. On your bonus action,
And bonus action 1.
essentially,
Okay.
it's kind of like I did 2 things, boom, boom, and I got something else up my sleeve, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So we won't count that one. You can use Thunderous
That's
Smite
fine.
next time if you
Next
choose.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you'll have to re-roll it. So, go ahead and mark your first level off so that you know. Yes, Bradley.
Yes. I forgot to include the open hand technique that on that last flurry of blows. The Medusa needs to make a DC 15 Dex saving throw or be knocked prone.
What DC? What
15?
15 or be knocked prone?
Yes.
Okay. Now, question for John, for Preacher. You are locked in with her, fighting each other.
Correct. I'm compelled duel.
Not hit. She's hit. That doesn't change anything as far as the concentration spell that you're doing.
No, the concentration's on me.
Okay. I just want to make sure so that on that one. Okay. So a Constitution, and roll the 4. So Medusa.
Oh.
Medusa is actually already prone.
Oh.
So,
well then, I could knock her 15 feet towards Preacher.
Well, I should be in her grill.
Yeah, they're only 5 feet or 5 feet within each other's range. So
I'm in her grill. Yep.
Basically, how I vision this is when Kingfisher Blue hit the Medusa the last time, you hit her with such force that she hit the wall and came back, and she fell back to the floor again. So you just went boom, and she hit the wall. Rocks and dust fell all over her, and she's laying on the floor and trying to shake all of the dust and settlement out of the snakes that are her hair. And she's looking at the floor, and you can tell that she's just really, really ticked. And then at the same time, you see this firebolt fire behind you, and you can smell the arid smoke and burning flesh, snake-like flesh of the Yanti behind you as it starts to slowly burn from Aaron Stormfell's.
For the one true bog.
The power of the one true bog.
Exactly. Well done. Okay, so that finishes his turn, and that will bring up the Whisperer. The Whisperer is under the control of the Smite, so it is going to have to. There's really not much it can do other than try and get out of the Smite. So let's see. Roll the 1. It is taking another. What is it? A DC? What do we say that Smite was? A DC?
Her DC is 13.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The
For the con save.
Yeah. Well, the con save, he didn't save. He rolled a 1, so the damage is 1d6.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to get to, was how much it could be. As far as is concerned, and it's 3 points of fire damage.
This Whisper's having a bad day.
Whisper's not doing too well, and the other Yanti is not doing well. Is still asleep.
It's still asleep. Yeah.
Red is
still asleep.
The first who did Aaron attack? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Aaron attacked Yanti Pink.
Which is a Mind Whisperer, correct?
The Mind Whisperer. One of the many cards. Zechariah, it is your turn.
All right. I'm in front of this Medusa. I'm trying not to look at it, and I'll strike with the flail.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. A 9 is a miss. Come back around with a second attack. An 18.
He does hit.
Nice.
Got
There's some bludgeoning and radiant combined. It's 11. 12. Sorry, 12. 12 points of damage. Well, wait a minute. The Medusa was prone, correct?
Yes, he's prone.
Okay, so let's take this then, because prone is advantage on attack, right?
Yes.
So let's count this as the first attack.
So 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage on the first attack. Here comes second attack with advantage. I'll roll it with advantage this time. Did it record my result? It did not, but I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
So here comes some more damage. An 8. So a total of 20 damage to the on her back troublesome Medusa
She's not happy.
that I am not looking at or trying to avert my gaze. I'm staring at like a tail. I'm slapping it.
Okay. Lominde, it is your turn.
Okay. I have a quick question about something before I attack. Something I can do is steady aim, and it says you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll, provided that you haven't moved. By move, does that mean like actually physically use walking speed, or does that mean use any action whatsoever?
You're correct. Walking speed. Yep. The move
Okay, so-
action. The move. You can move. You can do an action. Right. So that's what that would be. Yep. So
Okay,
just
so
stay
I could-
flat-footed.
Okay. I
mean,
know
now
red.
remember, and you can move after, right? You know your movement
Well,
and
I
attack.
can't. I not really.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
can't.
right. That's right. You can't move anyway.
Okay, I just was confused on if it was something like if it was just for walking or a movement would be considered like an attack.
Attack and movement are two separate things.
Yep.
Okay. Well, since Q isn't here to stop me, and there's not really much else I can do at the moment, I am going to go ahead and try to hit the red. 13 does not hit, so fortunately I have this fun little thing called a bonus action, which also does not hit. So what I am going to do with the rest of my turn is I am going to use the action steady aim to give myself advantage on my next turn and try to break out, roll a Constitution saving throw. And I rolled a 20.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
Nice. 20 always succeeds. A natural 20 always succeeds. So that's awesome.
I'm so glad I have my physical dice with me now.
So, let's see. Let me make sure. Until the creature is freed by the Greater Restoration spell or another magic, it reduces itself. If the creature fails its saving throw by 5 or more, otherwise a creature that fails its saving. Okay. So, during this round, you do not have any petrification continue crawling up because you survived the Constitution saving throw. Okay, that's a good thing. I'm sure you don't want to go any higher than that. So that brings up Theo and Kat.
I know it's probably ill-advised, but I'm gonna try and stab red.
Okay.
What's it, 18 to hit?
Yes, 18 hit. They are 14s or higher. They're AC.
That'd be 7 damage.
It's 2 red.
Yes.
That's 7 points, you said?
Yes.
Yanti Guard Red has been poked and prodded and is now awake and looking around for his next victim. And that's, you don't have a bonus action or a second action, correct?
No, I don't.
Okay, that brings up the Medusa. Let's see. So, because it is locked into this battle, this fight with Zechariah, even though it's being poked and prodded by other creatures around it, it is going to swing its tail at Zechariah. Let's see. And rolls a 9. No, excuse me, rolls a 6. So it the tail swings right past Zechariah's head, straight over his head, like comes close to hitting Kingfisher Blue, and then recoils back below the Medusa. She takes her second action to try and become unprone, and she is currently prone, and rolls an 11, so she is still prone.
And luckily, I ducked the tail.
Yes.
Ooh!
Duck the tail. Oh, that was terrible. Okay.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Wait, no, in my brain, I'm singing the song, so that's totally on me, not on you.
Oh, that was my intent. That's why I added the whoop.
Hugh is not here. That brings up Yanti Guard. Yanti Guard is going to go after Theo and Kat, since she hit them to begin with. Is going to try for Bite and Claw. Bite is a 10. Claw is a 5. So misses completely.
Both of them miss.
Both. That brings us to round number 9. Talnar, your turn.
So, Holnar is feeling kind of odd because, he doesn't typically sneak very well. He can pick lock, but he can't sneak very well, surprisingly. But no one's seen him. He's going to make his way on this side of the Yanti. Well, I'm flanking with Brian's going dead on Theo and Kat. I'm flanking on their side of the basilisk, and when I'm coming up, I'm keeping my eyes down, looking at the body, not the face of the Medusa. So I'm just averting my gaze from her gaze and just trying to get around so I can make an attack, which with flanking would give me a advantage roll.
You already
So
have
let's see.
prone.
Huh?
You already have an advantage on her because she's prone. She's still prone.
Oh, she's still prone. Okay.
One left.
I'm happy I had the advantage, because if not, that would have been really nasty. So that will be a 18 to hit with my rapier.
Yep.
And that would be, I get to actually do sneak attack damage for the first time this entire battle. So that's 3d6 and a d8 for my rapier and my sneak attack. And that is going to be 8, 10, 11 plus 4, so 15 points of damage. And my bonus action with my short sword. And I miss.
Okay.
Because I don't think 11's going to hit.
No.
And that is my turn.
All right. Kingfisher Blue.
Round. Having exhausted my key points to this point, I don't think a short rest would be in order here. So I would.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Can go take a nap in this orange bed over here. No, that's
She is.
instead,
She is prone.
Yeah. I will attempt to make an unarmed strike. Because honestly, it's my best move, and why not? That is a 25 to hit. Woo! Woo! And that does 8 points of damage. And with my second, only 2 strikes now that I'm out of key points, which points are key. But,
Hey, you still get 2.
I will attack.
2 strikes.
Yeah, you still get 2 attacks. So, that is a 19 to hit with my second attack. And this does 6 points of damage.
Medusa is not looking very good. She is.
And just for fun, I'll spit in her face.
She is
Tweet!
wiggling. the snake hair is all over creation and trying to she's trying valiantly to look at least one person, but because of this concentration spell that is holding her, she's trying to get to Zechariah and get her gaze on him to turn him to stone, but she because of her being prone, she can't, and it's frustrating the heck out of her. But she is not looking very good. Okay.
Good.
That brings up Aaron Stormfell.
Okay. I am going to use my action, the Javelin of Lightning, against the Mind Whisperer Yonti. I think. Let's see. This is that's an 8. That doesn't look good.
Yeah, 8 does not hit.
8 does not hit. Now, do I still get a bonus action?
Yeah.
Is that how? I'm not sure how that works.
You actually have 2 attacks. So your javelin is 1. You can do another one with another weapon, or you can use a cantrip, and then you can use a spell for your bonus action.
Let's try Firebolt cantrip. I am just, the dice are not with me. That is an 8. 8 does not hit.
Does not. So, using your bonus action, you can do Smite, Faith, Thunderous Smite.
We are going to try the Thunderous Smite. And Thunderous Smite gives us 8 damage.
That is to the Yanti.
Is that the spell that you're doing, or is that something different?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is.
you-
Thunderous Smite is
Oh.
a
You can't do your
spell.
damage until you actually do your attack roll. So
Well,
you,
it's
sorry.
yeah. I think because I was
Sorry.
reading my Thunder Smite. Well, that's okay. I was reading mine, and you cast it, and then it has some wording like on your next hit, on your like when you hit something. So far you haven't hit anything, right?
Cast it and then you. So do you cast it and then you roll?
Yeah, if you read the spell, yeah, that's because I was actually I've got that too, and if like I said, now if it's an ability or something, that supersedes this, but yeah, if it's a spell, it says the first time you hit with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration. So you would cast the spell, and then inside of that duration, which is its concentration up to a minute, the next time you would hit, then you would get that, you would roll your regular damage, and then you would get that Thunder Smite extra damage.
Okay.
So, but it's a melee. It's a melee hit too, which is a physical, melee is a physical hit.
so the way that this is set up is if you use your javelin and hit with the javelin, then then cast Thunderous Smite to add damage to that. So I didn't even read it right. But once you do that, then there's extra damage to what the
Okay, that makes more sense.
what the javelin did. Now here's the other thing is before you can actually get appoint damage to the creature, you have to roll to see if you even hit it. So I mean the spell
Right.
could have gone off into another part of the room instead of actually hitting it. So what you have to do is that on the left hand side of the actual spell it says cast. You click on that to cast it, and then it will roll for damage if you hit the creature. Okay, it's the same thing with if you use your javelin. You have to actually throw that javelin, and it has to hit the target in order for you to then roll for damage.
So
Hey, Chris.
Mhm.
Real quick, Smite, at least in the 2014, I'm not quite sure about the 2024, you don't have to roll to hit with that. That's just an additional damage it does from your initial hit that you roll.
Well,
So it's just part of your attack roll that just adds on if you make contact with your with the javelin, mace, whatever, of your first hit.
her character is 2024.
Okay.
It's already in
And-
there. It doesn't do it.
And I think they're using this off the magic item. I think they're using. Are you using Thunder Smite off of the Javelin of Lightning, or are you just trying to cast the Thunder Smite spell?
Well,
the spell. That's what I
Okay.
was trying to do. But
Right.
now
Yeah,
I know
I'm.
that
Yeah,
it has
I'm
to
reading
be
off the. Yeah, because I'm reading off the 2014. So you're right. It could be different on yours. It could be different in 2024.
okay. So with that being said, if you chose to do, instead of Thunderous Smite, if you chose to do Searing Smite, you could still do that as your bonus action. That way, you're still trying to do damage without having to use the javelin to to get the
Right.
thunder.
And that searing smite damage is 4. 4. And I believe that would be the end of my turn.
Okay. We are all still learning this as we go, and there are a bunch of new rules and new things that we're having to do, so don't feel like we're dumping on you for any reason. Same thing, audience. You're learning.
No, I'm just getting to learn.
And that's a good thing, because, you know, I may want to play a character like this later on, and these are great spells to use. You pick some really good ones. So I wouldn't, don't be frustrated, by anything. This is a learning experience for all of us, and that's what we're here to do. Not only have fun because we've been doing it, but also teach at the same time and learn at the same time. So we're all learning together. Let's see. Okay, so that finishes that round. That brings up Mind Whisperer. And because it is smited, it is going to have to try and get unsmited. And rolls a 3. It is still smited. So it is not going to be able to do anything else other than
It is smitten.
He is smited. All right, Zechariah, that brings it to you.
Okay, let's try and bring victory to the mighty Alpha Bog. And let's see if we can close her out. So, Spirit Walker's flail. Swing 1. Oh, and actually with advantage. So I'll roll twice. So the 15. 15
does not hit.
Okay. Second attack, I'll roll with true advantage this time, which won't show on your screen, for a 22.
22 hits.
And there's the damage. 13 damage. And so, is she still up?
Still up.
So I'll get into the bonus action way here. And Divine Smite, which I think is what Matt was referring to, maybe. This is the 2014 Divine Smite. When I hit with a melee weapon attack, I can burn a spell slot for an additional 2d8 radiant damage to the target. And then if I use a higher spell slot than the first, and I will go ahead and do that, I get an additional 1d8. So here comes 3d8 radiant. Oops. Ignore this roll.
I didn't even see it.
Here's 3d8. So an additional 17 points of damage.
All right. With that being said, with 17 points of damage to the Medusa, how do you want to do this?
Yes. First of all, a loud, as I see the last bit of life leaving her body, the first thing that I do is I say, all praise and might and strength is given to the Alpha Bog and I take that Spirit Walker's flail and I just give it an extra, like, as it hits her, I just kind of like leave it there, and I kind of like grip it with both hands. Even though I've got the shield, I grip it with both hands, and I just kind of drive that flail deeper into her body to just put a finishing touch on it.
The tail, as everyone knows with snakes, you may cut the head off, but that tail is still moving.
Oh,
So the tail is still moving. The snakes that are, the snake hair is still writhing around, but slowly begins to each one of the tendrils starts to fall over and expire on their own, and that tail just keeps whipping and whipping and whipping, and then starts to slow and and then eventually stops, and you hear this kind of as the life leaves the body of this one
yes.
monstrous beast, this gorgon. So, well done. Anything else that you want to do?
The only thing I would really have left, obviously, would be movement. But if anything, maybe take my boot and put it like to her face, like her jaw, and just kind of push it away. So even though she's lifeless, I just kind of like. Zechariah takes his boot. He wears these big, thick black boots, and just kind of puts it on her jaw, and not trying to rip her head off, but just kind of like moves her entire head with the snake and her eyes, just away. So either pointing at the wall, pointing into the ground, something like that. Just to be like, even if she tries to come back to life, she's not going to be able to stare at anybody. And then that's it. And I'll turn and look for another threat.
That brings us to Lominde.
Okay, I am going to try and attack red. 23 to hit.
Yes.
My roll 20 isn't working right now. If somebody could tell me the damage that does with the sneak attack and everything.
I don't see it coming up on the screen.
Okay. This is why I have physical dice.
You said your total
Yeah.
it is 16.
Okay. And after that, I am going to.
And
Do I
that's with
still-
your advantage?
Yes.
Because you got advantage on your first attack because you steadied yourself.
Yeah, I rolled with advantage. That was.
Okay.
Okay, so we're looking at 16 points of damage to red.
Yeah. And then I'm going to bonus action again. 25 to hit. And 4 points, max points of damage for that. 4.
Anything else that you want to do?
Would I In my turn, would I be am I still petrified?
Yes. You are.
Okay.
You still need to do a Constitution saving throw.
17.
17. You pass. No future or no more petrification. You're still petrified from the waist down, but you're not. It's not continually growing, so you're kind of half and half at this point.
Okay. Then that's my turn.
That brings up Theo and Kat.
Stab red again. Let's go. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Four damage.
Anything else?
That's all.
That will bring up Red. Red is going to attack Theo and Cat. You attack him last. Bite and claw. And let's see. Bite is a 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Claw was a 3. So bite is would be 4 points of piercing damage.
Alright.
Ouch. That brings us to the top of the next round. Tolnar?
So, well, Tolnar is going to end up try to slide in between Theo and Kat and Zachariah and pop up to attack Red. So, let's see how well I do. Pretty well with a 24 to hit.
Does hit.
And sneak attack damage with my D8 for damage. And that went flying off of the thing at first. So that's 10, 11 plus 4, another 15 points of damage.
15 points to Red. Okay.
Okay, and bonus action short sword, 16 to hit.
16 hit.
Does that hit?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, Chris.
Yes, it hits. Mm-hmm.
And that is 3 points of damage.
3 points.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that brings up Kingfisher Blue.
In a swift and nimble circular motion, I am going to throw my boomerang at Yanti Pink. And as it's flying, I will high-five Zechariah on his kill.
Nice.
And
He
wait
jumps
for
up.
the...
He jumps up to meet your high five.
All right, well, the boomerang is a 12 to hit on the Yanti, the first attack.
14 or higher.
All right. And so as it comes back, I'll catch it after the high five. I catch the boomerang again and throw it for my second attack. 14 to hit.
17 does hit.
14, but still hits. 8 points of damage to Yanti Pink. We hit the boomerang.
Did you do that with advantage since he was smited?
Oh no, I didn't. Let me re-roll my second attack then. So that was the first attack, 8 points of damage. 20. Natural 20.
Nice. Very
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that is it double total or double the die?
The rules are you double the damage dice. But
Okay,
I know
damage dice.
Chris sometimes has switched it up, but the rules are just double the dice that you roll. So in other words, 1d8 is now 2d8 or
Okay.
whatever.
So that is 8 plus 5, so 13 points of damage with a second strike on the boomerang.
Who knew when you were going to play Dungeons and Dragons that you would have to do math? Ugh. I guess everybody did. It still is.
One of the reasons it should be
They actually sell
Children,
D&D dice
yeah.
at the learning
There you go,
learning
that's
store
right.
or whatever.
That's right.
In the math section, you can buy a set of really cheap dice in the math section.
Just
That's still
think of all the things that Dungeons and Dragons teaches, right? I mean, social interaction, math, comprehension. I mean, the list it's endless.
There's actually a teacher that does short adventures during his class with his students, and they're Dungeons and Dragons. You know, you are doing such and such, that sort of thing. And he says that it's been very, very successful. So, rock on for Dungeons and Dragons in the classroom. I'm all for it. So,
and speaking of math, I did. Yeah, 8 plus 5 is 13. So there we go. All right.
okay.
So
Are you finished, Kingfisher?
yeah, that's 2 boomerang hits to Yanti Pink for a total of 13 plus 8. 21 points of damage to its face.
Aaron Stormfell, it is your turn. You are muted. You're still muted. There you are.
Let's try the Javelin of Lightning on the Yanti. Is it a Whisperer, the pink one?
Yes.
Dice. I just cannot get out of the 8s. It's like my dice are just rolling 8s. So that did not hit. So I am going to see about a cantrip. Firebolt is 23 to hit.
Yeah.
And 3 damage. And I get a bonus action, is that correct?
Correct.
Searing Smite. Let's see if we can pass that. Searing Smite. Let's see, that is the one where I just have to do it.
Are you doing that
That
as
is
a first level spell or a second level spell?
that one. Is still, I still have first level slot.
Okay.
So do I have to do it a second level?
No, if you want to use it as your third spell on a first level, you can do that. Just remember, for first level, you only have one spell slot left, but you have 2 spell slots at second level that you have not used before.
Let's see. Yeah, let's just continue with what I did because I've already rolled. 3 for damage on that. And that would be the end of my turn, I believe.
That brings up the Mind Whisperer, who is still smited and must get out of smitedness. And rolled a nat 20. He is no longer smited. That technically ends him. It ends him.
Is unsmitten.
Is unsmitten. Smited. Zechariah.
So the this red is the guard.
The Bruce.
So let's turn the let's turn the Spirit Walker's flail towards 17 to hit.
He does.
Uh, 10 points of damage
Damage to red.
to red. Second attack, 19, and here comes some more damage for 11 this time.
Mind Whisper. Oh no, excuse me. Yeah, you said 11 points.
Yep. So a total of 21 points of damage from both attacks. Total of 21, but 10 and 11.
Okay. Anything else that you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's still up. Does it look like it's
Both of them.
heavily damaged, or
They are on their last legs.
so? I'm going to go ahead, do the same thing, just like I finished off his boss. We'll do a divine smite. We'll burn just first level spell slot for that, and so here comes 2d8 for another 12 points of damage.
12 points to red.
12 points to red. So a total of what's that now? 33?
Red is dead.
Haha. So again, same thing. Just that the last force, I just kind of put like an extra emphasis into it. And now I would know all of the bogs, right? Like I wouldn't just know the alpha bog.
That's correct.
So I would know all of the alpha bogs. So the one that I'm drawing a blank right now, but in our winter campaign, I was playing the cleric to, was it? I know it was the Bog of Judgment into the Underworld.
Abaddon.
Abaddon, that's correct. So I say that. So I say that Abaddon does not even need to judge your deeds, and the Alpha Bog will be sending you straight into the. How many hells is it, Chris?
There are 13.
13. You shall be headed straight with your mistress into the 13 hells. And that ends my turn.
will bring up Lominde.
Okay, well, since now the only enemy is the one behind me, I am going to go ahead and make an acrobatics check to see if I can actually go and hit. What can I get with a 15?
With a 15? You actually hit it with a 15. It's 14 or higher.
No, the acrobatics check to actually make him turn around because I'm still petrified.
She's trying that move like she did in the last game.
You're just trying to twist. The thing is, you're actually facing towards him. So
no, I'm facing towards Talnar.
I thought you had been facing towards.
No, she bent backwards to throw her knife when Talnar was.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do
over
the same
here.
And if you do that, you're gonna have to either twist your body or bend backwards in order to do it.
Okay, so I rolled. Okay. 17 does off of an acrobatics. Does that
17 off of acrobatics? Yeah, you're able to bend. You are
okay?
bending.
Uh, 18 to hit. And a total of 14 damage to Pink.
How do you want to kill it? You killed it. How do you want to?
Nice.
As she's still bent over backwards as she watches it crumple to the ground, and it's like, and she says, somehow, despite the fact that you just died, I think you're in a better position than I am because you can still move. But, toodles. And she stands back up and kind of makes a move to like dust off her shoulders.
All right, so everything in the room is gone. Is either gone into the lava, has writhed around on the floor, flailing about in desperation and then despair, then
lava Yanti.
a pin cushion for lots of arrows and knives, javelins, everything that you can think of.
Talons, boomerangs. Yes.
That being said, there are a number of creatures that are still in this room that if you choose to loot anything, you're more than welcome to, or if you want to look around or anything else, you're more than welcome.
I want to inspect this Medusa. I'm gonna look over. I'm gonna rifle through if this Medusa has any, obviously, pouches, saddlebags, backpacks, anything. I mean, do I see? First of all, do I see that she has anything on her? Like,
Oh yeah, she's I guess the best way to describe her is like what?
Before you continue with that, Chris, since that popped up, Talnar will yell over to Zachariah, don't forget, she has snakes. They still wiggle after death, so be careful.
Do I see that? Does it look like the snakes are a danger, Chris?
Well, from your vantage point, it doesn't look like it, but you would actually have to get up, like, on the body to be able to figure out whether it's
You.
but she's wearing a very thin cloth sheer, so you can see the humanoid body underneath. Obviously a female, but the lower half from below the navel is snake. Her head is, well, ashen skin mixed with green, scaly. You know, I mean, it's human and snake in one.
Sure.
She's pretty nasty looking. Smells atrocious. But yeah, I mean, she's got what appears to be a leather strap that goes across her chest with a quiver on her back. There are no arrows in it, but there is no a bow that's also, you know, on her. So she does not have bow and arrows. She just has the quiver on her back.
Well, let's check. Yeah, if there's anything. So in other words, you know, because obviously I'm figuring that this is, I mean, obviously a major bad, right? So, you know, if it's the main bad, maybe she has something on her that leads to us being able to unravel, you know, this mystery of what's going on. So, you know, I would probably check the quiver, even though it's an empty quiver. But again, I'm looking for anything that would be, you know, a pouch or anything that she would be carrying on her to search or to go through.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Here comes a D20 roll. Not quickly, but a 4.
Roll it again as
Okay. Here comes another D20 roll. And a 14.
The first thing that you come across is what appears to be a gold hand mirror, but the mirror part of it is broken into like shard pieces, several of which are missing. The bottom, the handle itself has what appear to be almost like screws, where it may attach to something else. But on the back, it's there's a scratch mark that says REL.
Okay, any type of investigation, history, perception, anything to try and figure out. Well, Rel Peck,
Investigation check.
right? Rel Peck. Wasn't it Rel Peck or Rao Peck or
LPEC.
Rel Peck?
REL.
Let's do some investigation just in case I roll a natural 20. I got a 14 on investigation.
Okay. This looks like it may have been a part of something else, like another piece of equipment, or
A telescope?
desk or something. It's not quite clear, but it looks like it may have been.
Okay. What was the 14?
Okay. The 14 was gold body jewelry made of fine chains, rings, and glass beads. And it is.
Any idea of the value of such item?
I'm in the process of finding that out, even as we speak. It is worth 10 platinum pieces.
Bling bling.
Touching.
This will be a nice gift to the church.
Yes. What was her name
Okay,
again?
so is that is that pretty much as I'm searching through her body, that's
Everything.
pretty much everything I find?
The Yanti Brood Guard do not have clothes because they are mainly snake, less human. It's basically 2 arms, 2 legs, scaly, ugly, with a forked tongue, and that's about it. They smell really bad, but they're not wearing any clothes.
Right. Yeah, I'm just checking her out. So
no, I'm just saying, in case anybody wants to go after any of the Brood Guard, they're not going to have anything on them. The Mind Whisperer and the Nightmare Speaker, they actually do have clothes. The Mind Whisperer is wearing they're wearing pants that are basically tattered at the knees. It's just almost like they're wearing shorts. They're not wearing any shirts. The Nightmare Speakers are actually they're all female, and they are wearing kind of the same thing as the Medusa was wearing, as far as like a very sheer blouse or covering.
Good thing we don't have any bards in the party.
Well, they're all dead, so that's not.
Some necromancer bard. I don't know.
I'll bring them back to life.
So
Yeah.
Kingfisher is going to search the room in general for loot, clues, and rolled a 15 on my investigation.
Okay. You see that there are a number of statues throughout the room. Going with my mouse over on the wrong side. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm going to get that mouse.
There are actually 8 statues of various sizes and shapes of different beings. Most of them still have their weapons in hand. Others, their weapons are on the floor. Their shields, and swords, and javelins, arrows. There are several arrows that are throughout the room that have green fletching on them, and the tips of the arrows have what looks like a green kind of substance on them, almost like a liquid, sticky. There's a lot of dirt that's stuck to the substance, but without investigating it further, it just looks like some sort of goo that's been put over the tip of the
Kingfisher does a brain blast. He's going to get some insight into not only what the goo is, but is there any way to reverse the petrification of not only the statues, but my fellow party members, that sort of thing. He is an alchemist, so I rolled a 25 on insight as to how to reverse all this terrible chaos and damage of the now deceased Gorgon.
The goo is actually the going to the wrong side of the room. The goo is actually the blood of the Medusa. It's used as a poison. And each of the arrows has a +1 to it. There are about a dozen of them. There are no bows within the room. But
You want to hear use a bow? I haven't noticed.
I don't think any of the party uses a bow and arrow.
So I will attempt to. Like I said, I'm trying to undo the petrifications.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I have a crossbow.
Those require bolts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. I mean, I'm sure we could sell them at some point if we get the goo off of them.
Okay.
Maybe with the goo.
Petrification lasts until the creature, in this case, Lominde, who is partially petrified, until she is freed by a greater restoration spell or other magic. Since the Medusa has already perished, there's really nothing else. So, finding if someone has either a spell or a even a potion.
If science won't do, it has to be magic. Let's see here.
Polnar sits there, looks at her feet, looks over at Zachariah, looks over at Aaron, and says, "This is going to be the one time I'm probably going to say this, but you guys have deities. Might want to possibly invoke one of their blessings, abilities, whatnot, and see if it can help."
Most definitely. Let's see if the Alpha Bog will show favor upon this. Let's say possibly not pure. But I will definitely try and invoke the Alpha Bog. In fact, I will get down on my knees in front of Lominde and put my hands on her feet and invoke the name of the Alpha Bog and ask for the Alpha Bog's might in lifting this petrification off of my fellow adventurer.
Are you using the laying on of hands? The action?
I mean, I will. I mean, it can't. I mean, it would really. I mean, it's not going to. It's not going to cure what's going on. But this would be a DM's thing if he wants to role play this out.
Yes.
It's called divine intervention.
Okay.
Certain deities may offer to cure petrification through divine intervention, depending on the campaign and the DM's decisions. So, there's also dispel magic, potions, and the spell wish, besides greater restoration. If someone has wish or greater restoration, to look at that first. Then, if anyone
the Alpha Bog has delivered us from immense evil and has soundly defeated the Medusa and all of its schemes. So I believe that if he chose to, he would be powerful enough to free our companion here if he would
I'm
judge
in
her.
agreement with that.
If he would judge her worthy. But still, I will take the gesture of actually getting down on my knees and placing my hands on Lomonday's stone feet and invoking the please, I will plead to the Alpha Bog to release her from her condition. What say you, Alpha Bog?
What about everybody else?
I will join Zechariah in praying to the Pantheon, Avion and Alpha and all the above.
And I kind of cast my gaze up to Aaron.
I have admittedly a little silly of an idea. Earlier when we were in the other room, I picked up like a bunch of mushrooms, and they were said to be a dwarven delicacy. Could I roll something to see if eating the mushroom helps? I know we're told not to eat things we pick up off dusty shelves, but at this point, it's the only option I'm really seeing. I don't know how willing the Alpha Bog is to help out somebody who's been doing criminal activity for the past 200 years of their life.
One mushroom makes you 3 times larger. One mushroom makes you turn into fire. One mushroom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
One takes you away.
I think, Chris, you could probably play the Mario theme as long as it's less than like 10 seconds or something to avoid copyright.
And point of order, real quick, I was referring to like channel divinity that typically.
No, yeah, I've looked. I mean, I don't have. Well, yeah, channel divinity.
Well, what essentially Zechariah is doing is requesting divine intervention.
Definitely.
Is through
Definitely.
the efforts of being a paladin of the Alpha Bog. And at the same time, Lomonday is using her creative, not creative, that's not the right word for it, but is attempting to see if the mushrooms that she has received will have any effect on this, whether good or bad.
Yes.
So you may end up being unpetrified, but having like a gigantic.
I have a feeling that I will come to regret this.
So,
I haven't been good in the making decisions department.
okay.
It is the Iron Realm. It is the Iron Realm.
I have a 30-sided die.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Neat.
Oh,
I got a
oh
51.
dear.
I have a 30-sided die. I have not
Okay.
used this since college when John
Nice.
into buying this thing. I've never used it. Anyway, the 1 through 14 is a fail. 15 or higher. We shall see what happens.
Okay.
This is a roll of the die.
Here we go.
Avion.
The Alpha Bog's
Avion.
favor. Natural 30.
27.
What is it?
Yes.
27.
Yes. The Alpha Bog. The Alpha Bog is superior. Nice.
The petrification from the
Woo!
down starts to crumble as you can feel your body, Lomonday. It starts to get its circulation back. You're able to move your feet. You can feel your toes. I'm assuming that you have all your toes, all your extremities. But I mean, thieves, you never know. Sometimes they get rid of things to. But you're able to kick the petrification off of you. It's almost like dirt just crumbles and
That's awesome.
the dirt falls away and just soaks back into the floor. Unfortunately, the other statues that are in the room are fully petrified and cannot come back. But because Lominde was only partially, the divine intervention of a 30-sided die helped bring you back. So,
I have a 60-sided die.
Oh my word.
Hey, Chris, I'll walk by Zachariah, and I want to do this with a sleight of hand, but only make it where Zachariah sees us or is able to feel. What do you want me to roll for that? I mean, it's going to be a sleight of hand, but what is the DC?
DC.
I'm pretty involved in this. Yeah, I'm pretty involved in this. So
No, I want you to be able to notice, but no one else.
oh,
DC 15.
Well, that failed. So everyone sees
You're too
me, give him 1 platinum piece, and tell him to donate.
wow.
Throw a coin to your Witcher Valley.
That's right.
Does anybody else want to loot any of the other bodies while we are here?
Just quick question: the quiver that you were talking about, I did not catch. Did Zachariah do something with the quiver, or how did he search it?
What? Yeah, if I would see an empty quiver on a dead Medusa, I mean, Chris, yeah, I mean that would pique my curiosity also. So
If you decide to take it off of her, you're more than welcome to and keep it. I mean, that's completely within.
but I want to inspect it just to see if it is of anything significant or magical. There is actually a magical quiver in the D&D magic items list.
Yeah, it is. It is a plain quiver
Okay, all right.
that looks like it has been with her for a very long period of time.
Okay.
It is, for all intents and purposes, it's been broken in, so it's been used quite a bit.
Okay.
And it's you can see the streaks on the inside of the quiver where the arrowheads with the poison on it have
Okay.
cut into the leather, but otherwise it is a straight normal quiver.
Okay.
Because if you were going to do a bag of holding of any point in time, that does not look like a bag. That would probably be it.
Well, yeah, but that I can't think of the name right now, but maybe someone, hey, now that we have comments turned on, maybe someone can tell what in the comment section can tell. But there is a magic item, which is a quiver, and it acts not as a bag of holding, but it's close to it. And I believe it uses a Greyhawk character's name. There's a clue, so there you go.
I know the guy who wrote that.
Do you still have? And I guess Kingfisher, you may, or Tolnar, you may be the only one who can answer this. But do you guys have the Lobar's golf bag, or no? Or was that a different campaign? I can't remember.
That's the other campaign, I believe.
Lobar, no, I think. I want to say it's this one. It's the golf bag, but I don't know if it's with one of the characters that's sleeping somewhere or turned to stone.
I think we left that golf bag somewhere, on the first level.
You probably did. So, But are y'all checking any of the other Yuan-ti, or moving on?
Well, I'm gonna start yelling for Relpeck. I mean, Relpeck, come out!
Yeah,
That's
that's who we
over.
came here to get 3
Right.
years ago.
Right. I mean, I'll yell out for Relpeck.
Go ahead, Rhea.
Could I just try to like look around and see if there's anything out of ordinary with the environment, like with a perception check or something like that?
Sure. You can.
17.
No, you're probably going to want to roll a nature check
Okay.
instead of a.
Why are you bringing nature into this? Oh, wait.
Because when nature calls, you got to get answers.
Totally.
sometimes.
I always
Yeah.
answer.
Is that a D20?
Well, it's just through your sheet.
Yeah,
It'd be
it's
it's
your
an
D20 plus your
intelligence
nature modifier.
roll, but yeah.
Whatever your nature.
I rolled an 8, but I have an action I can take where I expend a psionic die and roll a 1d8 to see if that improves it.
Neat.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try rolling that to see if I can to add on. Okay, and so that takes it from an 8 to a 4. Plus 4, so a 12. Nature check.
What?
Well, no, yeah, I misspoke there. My bad.
No, it's
Onar must have slapped someone.
so you effectively rolled a 12. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you were specifically looking for what?
Just anything out of ordinary with the environment, like somewhere where I could like point my finger and go, "Hey, this is weird. Can we go look at this area specifically?" Because it's quite a big room to cover.
Sure. Yeah, it's not an easy one to look at. Expand out so that the audience can see a little bit more of the room. There you go. Stop. Okay. So yes, it is a big room. There are several doors that lead off of this room. There is one to the southwest. There is also one to the the southwest, over where Zechariah is standing. There's also an entrance that is to the east, and then the one that you guys came in. But otherwise, yeah, you guys have pretty much looked through everything within this room. You get a sense that there are places that that hold key information, possibly, or people. There may be that you're getting a sense of other Yuan-ti and other creatures down here, or it could be Relpeck, or it could be other people. You're just not exactly sure from your vantage point. You also can get a sense that this is the lowest level, that there may be more above you.
Well, I would start, like I said, feeling pretty emboldened that, not only have we defeated this, enemy, but that possibly we're close to solving the mystery here. Zechariah would almost probably start acting like Q in a way, or start start looking around. So I'll come down. Here's the hallway.
Okay.
Over here.
Okay. As you
So
start
in other words,
looking around, you hear an echoing down the corridors that bounce off the walls and the ceiling within this room. You hear a voice, a very tiny voice, saying, "Help me! Help me! Help!" And then it abruptly ends. And that's where
yeah,
we're,
identify.
that's where we're ending.
Oh. Oh.
Gotta end on a
Oh, okay, all right.
Ah,
Oh man,
So,
help me that ends abruptly. Ugh.
as always.
Ugh.
Oh, fellow warriors and
Could have
game,
lasted 3 years and then.
thank you all for tonight. Had a great time. Thank you so much, audience members, for being with us and joining in for episode 43. We hope that you'll come back for episode 44, which will be next week. And until then, we wish you a fantastic rest of your week, and let's roll.
In shadows where the iron echoes call, a path unseen through the jagged fall, whispers of the past, secrets tightly drawn. We tread the realm where darkened spirits yawn. Ghostly figures dance, lost in twilight's haze. The iron realm unfolds in a chilling gaze. Journey through the dark where the iron hearts bleed. Embrace the shadows, feed the endless need. In a realm so twisted, truth and myth converge. We dive into the depths as the dark thoughts surge. Across the abyss where the cold winds scream, a lantern flickers, guiding through the dream. With every step deeper, nightmares intertwine. In this forsaken lens combine. Ancient stones remember the stories untold. Through the realm of shadows we wander bold. Journey through the dark